families out of the heat into a cool movie theater. But here's the problem. Aside from huge hits that draw in weekend crowd, Frozen, theater industry is hurting. Call it a case of theater theatrics. Attendance at U.S. movie theaters keeps dropping while ticket prices keep going up. In the age of Netflix, this may be no big surprise to you, but as Duarte Geraldino reports, the movie theater industry is struggling hard to figure out how to avoid a real horror show.
And I'm just in war.
They're big-budget films that often cost tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars to produce, but they don't always fill theater seats. More than 227 million people in the U.S. and Canada went to the movies at least once in 2013, but that's 20 million fewer people than the year before. It's a scary trend that's putting theaters out of business.
Someone's in the house.
1 in 4 U.S. cinemas have shut down since 1995. Today, there are just about 5,700 in America.
And the thinking behind that is that, well, we should shut down unprofitable establishments and focus on these larger multiplexes that can offer these expanded concession menus, upgraded seatings.
The fight for survival has theaters investing in upgrades like 3D technology and digital sound, creating a higher-end experience. That strategy appears to be working. While attendance continues to drop, revenue is increasing, but barely. IBS World expects U.S. theaters to earn $14.9 billion in 2014, a 0.5% more than a year earlier. That's mostly because of increased concession sales and higher ticket prices. The typical U.S. movie theater ticket rose 2% last year to $8.13, but many people pay much more.
At this theater in New York City's Herald Square, some single tickets can run you upwards of $20 a piece after taxes. And in other major U.S. cities like Seattle, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., ticket prices are routinely above $10.
Yet higher ticket prices are not enough to stop the decline of the movie theater business.
We see the rise of platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime sort of capture audiences, especially among demographics that are kind of falling off the movie theater chains.
He's talking about people who go to the movies at least once a month in the key demographics of 12 to 17-year-olds and 18 to 24-year-olds. Both groups saw significant attendance declines. To lure them and others back, the National Association of Theater Owners is encouraging members to take steps like offering discounted tickets at least one day a week. But the question is whether those steps are enough to send more happy feet marching into theaters. Duarte Geraldino, Al Jazeera, New York.
All right, one entrepreneur has come up with an idea to help movie theaters bring back more customers. Back in 2010, Sean Wycliffe bought a ticket to see the movie The King's Speech. Great movie, actually, but when he sat down, he noticed all these empty seats around him. Then a light bulb went off. It led to a company he named Dealflicks. It works with theater owners to notify moviegoers of empty seats and then offer them discount prices. There are even package deals that I would go for that include popcorn and a soda. It seems to be working. Dealflicks sales are projected to rise nearly tenfold to nearly $2 million this year compared to 2013. Sean Wycliffe joins us now from San Francisco. Sean, congratulations, man. I sit in empty theaters and I say to myself, wow, it's an empty theater. You made a business out of it.
I guess so. Thanks.
All right, how does this work? It's an app?
Absolutely, yes. We have an iPhone app, we have an Android app, and you can go to Dealflicks.com on your mobile phone or website. After that, you just select the movie you want to see at the theater near you. You'll see the different deals that are available, and then you can just click and buy.
So generally speaking, what kind of deals are available?
Yeah, our deals are up to 60% off, and some of them are just the tickets by themselves, and others are ticket and popcorn or ticket and soda deals. The average discount's 30% off, and there's no convenience fees ever.
Did you have anything to do with the movie industry or the app industry before you came up with this?
I personally did not. I actually used to go to school at UC Berkeley, and before that I had a business selling long-distance phone service and then cell phones. So I had some background in business development and sales, but nothing in film and nothing in tech.
Okay, so this is important to me and to my viewers to understand how knuckleheads like me end up looking at a phenomenon and saying, wow, that's neat, and guys like you end up making a business out of it. So walk me through this. You're sitting there because around the same time, I was also sitting and watching The King's Speech, and I had no such epiphany. So you have this idea, and you say, it's all these empty seats. What do you do then?
Yeah, so right after that, I started talking to some of my friends that had backgrounds in programming websites and mobile apps, and I didn't have too many of them at the time. And I went to one of them, and he said he wanted to join me. And I thought, oh, here we go. I'm ready to go. And then I made a list of theaters near me. There was about 50 theaters in the Bay Area. So I started walking into those theaters and telling them about Dealflicks and trying to get to the decision makers. I had one theater say yes within a month, and I thought everything was going to be good. However, we didn't end up launching until about a year later.
Wow.
Because I had to go through about 6, 7 different co-founders. I had to talk to about 100 different theaters with one of my co-founders, Kevin, who eventually came on board. So it was very rocky. It took about a year and a half before we finally launched in July 2012.
And so what's the concept here that there's just no point to a theater owner in having an empty seat if that movie is running?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very similar to the hotel industry. So you have Priceline and companies like Hotwire.com that partner with hotels and airlines and car rental agencies. So when they have this inventory that's not being sold, it eventually perishes. So for instance, today, June 20th, you can rent a hotel in New York, but after June 20th passed, you can never go back and get money on that ever again. So movie theaters have that same exact problem, except it's a bigger problem. Over 88% of movie theater seats are empty. In fact, over 95% of movie theater seats are empty after opening weekend. So many empty seats. They'll partner with us. We'll do the marketing to get butts in those empty seats, and then we'll often partner with popcorn and soda within the ticket sales, and then they'll get a bunch of new people coming to the theater that they normally wouldn't get.
Is there pressure from anybody in the industry that you're cannibalizing them and that they shouldn't sign up with you?
There's definitely that thought that has been out there, and when we first started the company, we had to ask a lot of theaters to kind of go out there on a limb and try it out. And so it took a little bit to get the thing rolling, get the thing going. However, about a year ago, we started getting a lot of case studies back from our theaters. And what we found was a couple of really interesting things. First, a lot of brand new people are coming into the theater. In fact, most of our theaters see 50, 60, sometimes even 90 to 95% of the people coming into the theater are brand new people that never came to the theater before. So new people is one thing. Number two, they're seeing people come more often and bringing friends. And the third biggest thing they're seeing is a lot of concession sales. In fact, over half of our customers buy at least one concession for full price at the theater or more. Wow. Over 25% buy 2 or more concessions for full price, and around 10% buy 3 or more concessions for full price. So they're seeing a lot of concession sales, a lot of new people, especially in certain show times during the middle of the week when, frankly, every seat might be empty.
I'd be one of those 3 concession guys, but that's why I look the way I do. Sean, good to see you, buddy. Congratulations. Show us your shirt. Come on, open that up. Let's
there
see
it is.
Dealflicks. All right, I love it. Sean Wycliffe is the co-founder of Dealflicks. All right, New Orleans is a mecca for food lovers craving